G'day fellas and welcome to another House of Lancaster video. Today we are looking at the House of Lancaster, we're looking at their tech tree, everything that they've got in here, and then we're going to jump in a game and just quickly review the units, the stats that they've got. There's not going to be a whole lot of theory crafting in this video about potential strategies and stuff like that. That'll be coming in another video. The main focus here is just getting out the facts. So let's go through it and check out this civilization. So 3 words to describe this civilization: manners, defense, economy. Have you ever seen 3 more beautiful words? This is gonna they're so much fun. Difficulty 1 star, so definitely great for new players. The House of Lancaster emerges as a powerful branch of English royalty. Manners are the backbone of the economy by providing sustainable economic practices. Lancaster military might is of a technological advancement and superior tactics on the battlefield. Dismantle enemy formations with potent shock troops, then pick them apart with superior ranged infantry. Now keep in mind there are some differences between the House of Lancaster and the English. We'll make sure to go over those, but first let's focus on the civ bonuses. Number 1, villagers gather from sheep 25% faster. Number 2, build manors to passively generate food and wood, and gold, but we'll talk about that later. Town centers spawn 4 sheep when built. Keeps grant 3 free Earl's Guards when built. Active keeps improve the damage of Earl's Guards and demi-lancers. Villagers wield short bows when attacking enemy units, and ships are 10% cheaper to produce. So one of the key differences here that we're looking at compared to the English is, number 1, there is no bonuses to farms here. There is no reduction on the cost of farms. There's no gather rate increase on farms when it comes to the House of Lancaster. On top of that, you don't have the attack speed bonus that you get to really grow quite comfortable with as the English, and that's one of the key differences between these civilizations. So let's click on it in and find out a little bit more about it. So feudalism. Build manors to generate passive income in the feudal age. So that's when they unlock. Manors provide 10 population space, so as much as a house, and they also generate 70 food and 45 wood per minute. So if we were just talk about how much roughly these are in terms of villages, it's about 2 villages worth of food and about 1 villager worth of wood per minute. So roughly about 3 villages worth for each of these manors. You can increase the build limit of manors with unique technologies. Wool industries, each town center spawns 4 sheep upon completion. Villagers gather from sheep 25% faster. They've got defensive byrig, where they fire an extra arrow, and their villagers wield short bows when attacking enemy units. We've also talked about a house unified, the fact that you can have 3 free Earl Guards upon being built, the keep, and then active keeps granting the extra damage. They get the shipwrights bonus, which is where your reduction in cost of ships is 10%, which is very nice, and then it goes over the unique units. So let's take a look at their basic tech tree and just see what they've got. As I said, we're not going to be focusing too much on about theory crafting. It's more just about just getting sort of the facts out here. So town center is exactly the same. When we look at their mill, it's exactly the same. The only difference is there's no enclosure technology in the Imperial age, only precision cross breeding. When it comes to the lumber camp, everything's the same. The mining camp is going to be exactly the same. The barracks is where it starts to get a little bit different. Now, we do have access to the spearmen in the Dark Age. You don't have access to the spearmen until the Feudal Age with the English. On top of that, you also have the Earl's Guard, which is a unique unit to the House of Lancaster. It's a tough infantry with good damage, and periodically throws daggers at nearby enemies. Has high armor, slow movement, and is countered by knights, lancers, and crossbow. So this is basically your men-at-arms. It costs the exact same as men-at-arms, and that's primarily it. You can also get throwing dagger drills, where Earl's Guard are supplied with additional daggers when throwing. These daggers also deal a small amount of area damage. Earl's Guards now throw 2 daggers but are less accurate. So they throw more daggers, less accurate. On top of that, there's also an upgrade, which I absolutely love this upgrade. We'll be doing entire videos just specifically about this upgrade, Billman. Billman is incredible. Spearmen equip tempered bills, reducing the armor of enemies by 2 when attacking. That is ridiculous. That is crazy how good this is. Men-at-arms are not going to be a problem for this civilization. Your yeomen are going to be their own little crossbows. So let's check in with the dock and take a look at the differences here. Fishing boat, transport ship, everything here that you would expect. There is a couple of little differences here. So if we take a look, there is still admiralty though, so increasing the range of combat ships by +1. I think actually, now that I look at it, I don't think there's anything different compared to the English. Looks pretty much identical. Ooh, that was not where I intended to go. Apologies. Let's go back here. Okay, so now let's check in with their outpost. Nothing too crazy in here. And the Abbey of Kings. Heals all nearby friendly units that are out of combat by 6 every 1 second. and you can ordain up to 4 Lords of Lancaster, powerful melee leaders which increase the max health of nearby military units by 5% each. Cues production of a free Lord of Lancaster upon completion. So just like the Abbey of Kings for the English, you get that free king to start you off. However, keep in mind it is an infantry unit, so you're probably not going to be doing a whole lot of raiding with this bad boy. Your second landmark is the Lancaster Castle. It is unique, obviously, to the House of Lancaster, and it is a defensive landmark that can do a one-time muster of units from manors in each age. It generates an influence field the same way that the Holy Roman Empire generates an influence field with its emergency repairs. It's the exact same thing here, generates influence that grants nearby manors 500 health and an arrow slit emplacement. So it is very, very cool on the defense. Then we take a look at the Feudal Age. Once you're up in the Feudal Age, you'll have access to the Manor, which generates 45 wood and 70 food per minute and increases your max pop by 10. You've also got a couple of interesting upgrades. First and foremost, a +3 increase with an extra 200 health called Condensed Land Practices, and then you've got Open Field System, which increases the limit again by 3 and their health by 300. So you go from having a limit of 3 to a limit of 6 and then a limit of 9, and this is all available in the Feudal Age. So for those of you who have played Age of Empires 3 and are familiar with the Dutch, you'll be very comfortable with manors and the similarities between that and banks. On top of that, you may recognize this. I picked this up straight away. This looks exactly like Coffee Trade from Age of Empires 3, which allowed you to increase your how many banks you could build. It's called Scutage, or Scuttage. The Lord of Lancaster levies attacks on all vassals to fund war efforts. Manors generate 40 gold per minute. So this is in the Imperial Age, and it means that now you'll be generating, 70 food, 45 wood, and 40 gold. And you can have 9 of them, so if we think about those numbers realistically, you're looking at about 400 wood per minute, about 630 food per minute, and then about 400 gold per minute, 360 gold per minute. So it is a decent chunk of resources that you're getting for free. You have to pay no population for. I say for free. It's obviously not for free, right? You got to pay for the manor. They're 200 wood, 100 stone. Calm down. They're not for free. Anyway, town center. We've already seen these guys. They are exactly the same as everybody else's. The market, nothing crazy in here. Blacksmith. There's something a little bit crazy down here in the Imperial Age. You'll see padded jack. Let's check out exactly what it does. Equip your yeomen and spearmen with padded jacks, improving their melee armor by 3, which is very nice for the Imperial Age. Helps out when you're spamming out that trash. Let's take a look and see what else we've got. In the archery range, we've got the yeomen, and then in the Castle Age, you'll see, hold on a minute, we've got the yeomen, we've got the crossbowmen, and we've got the early hand oh, no, you didn't. Oh, yes, we did. The early hand cannoneer. Yep, it's back in POG form. We'll talk less about, or we'll talk more about this later. Then we've got Synchronized Shot. So Synchronized Shot is what you've seen in all the videos. Unlocks the Synchronized Shot ability for the yeomen, which allows them to fire in that very cool long-distance arc. Then we've got the stable, where they have their Hobbler unit. Hobbler, I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. The Hobbler and the Knight, which is basically their horseman replacement. So it's a cheap cavalry, effective at raiding, flanking, and countering ranged units. Cheaper than a normal horseman, high movement speed, weak against melee units, and countered by spearmen. So you can see it actually costs gold. It only costs 70 food, so quite a bit cheaper than a horseman. Of course, it's got all of its standard upgrades here, nothing too crazy, but now we get into the landmark. So we'll start with the White Tower, because you guys are familiar with the White Tower, and there's nothing in here that's different except for the bonuses that it gives. So it acts as a keep with all the behaviors, technologies, and bonuses, so it's essentially the same, except that it doesn't allow you to build units out of the out of the keep. So basically, this is an English bonus where you can build units out of the keep. We don't pick that up with the House of Lancaster. The House of Lancaster doesn't get that bonus. And then on top of that, when you do complete the White Tower, it will provide you with a couple of these guys, the Earl's Guard. So I think it's up here, yeah. Keeps grant 3 free Earl's Guard upon being built. And it also gives the extra point of damage over as well. So that is a nice little bonus. So now let's look at the King's College, which you'll immediately feel very excited about. The King's College reduces research costs of all technologies by 15%. Not just the technologies in the King's College, all technologies, and contains unique military technologies for the House of Lancaster. Yes, that is right. We have got ourselves a combination of, realistically, this is like the French landmark together with like the Abbasid. I want to say the Abbasid, no, the Delhi landmark. It's a very nice combination. So let's take a look and see what they get access to. First and foremost, we get access to hill training. Training in rugged terrain increases Hobbler charge damage by 150% and production speed by 100%. Nice and cheap one for you there. So if you're playing into that unique cavalry unit, you'll be able to maximize your efficiency with hill training. Next up, we've got the Collar of Esses. Your knights and demi-lancers. We haven't talked about demi-lancers yet. We haven't seen demi-lancers yet, but we will shortly. Your knights and demi-lancers adorn their armor with the Lancaster livery, gaining +6 bonus damage against enemy armored units. So similar to the Holy Roman Empire bonus, where you get more damage against armored units, this is obviously a great bonus and always going to be welcome. Then we've got my personal favorite, Warwolf Trebuchet. Experience from building larger trebuchets increases their range by +2 and their health by 50%. And the most important thing that it doesn't mention here is that it gives a physical update to the model of the trebuchet when you get this upgrade, and it looks so damn cool. I can't wait to show you. Okay, let's take a look at Burgundian imports. It is a 600 gold cost. Importing Burgundian hand cannons enables hand cannoneers to be trained in the Castle Age and reduces the hand cannoneer cost by 25%, which is it's a big amount. It is a big amount. So that is that's good fun. We can take a look at the stats for the early hand cannoneer as well. So bringing it down from 120 to 90 is definitely going to be welcome, but it's obviously got slightly lower stats in the Castle Age than it does in the Imperial Age. And then we've got military tactics training. So this is advanced military tactics, increase your troops' overall effectiveness in battle, improving their bonus damage by 20%. So I haven't actually tested this yet, but typically bonus damage is going to be when... I don't know if it's like their counter damage. So if we think about a spearman that has bonus damage against cavalry and against elephants, so is that what it's talking about? Or is it also talking about things like the damage multiplier not the damage multiplier, but the damage addition that comes from things like incendiary arrows or +1, +2, +3, that sort of thing. So we'll have to double check that. I don't actually know. And then finally, in the Imperial Age, we've got Ships of the Crown. Now, technically, this is for the Imperial Age, but I don't know whether it comes through at the Imperial Age or in Castle Age. Investing in bigger and better ship hulls increases carrack damage by 20%, health by 20%, and range by 20%. And that last one is the most important part, the range by 20%, because range is the king when it comes to battles on water. Okay, so those are the two Castle Age landmarks. Let's move on now to the Imperial Age, where we can see the keep, the monastery, the siege workshop, the keep. So nothing in here at all that is crazy, everything very standard. Siege workshop, you'll notice that there is, interestingly, no Reboldequin in here, which is disappointing, unfortunately. They do also have the Culverin as well. And then we've got greased axles, roller shutter triggers, adjustable crossbars, geometry, lightweight beams. Everything in here is very stock standard. And then we'll take a look at, which one are we going to look at here first? I think we'll go with Berkshire first. Acts as a keep and increased health and powerful, acts as a keep with increased health and powerful incendiary arrows. All weapons have 14.5 tiles of range and increases the maximum damage granted by a house unified to +6. So I think what this is talking about, I don't actually know what this is. Granted by a house unified to +6. We'll have to do some testing on this. Let me just check and see if there's anything over here on the left-hand side that mentions house unified. A house unified. Oh, okay, there you go. Keeps grant 3 free Earl's Guard upon being built. Each active keep grants 1 damage to Earl's Guard and Demi-Lancers, up to a maximum of 4, of +4. So does that change it from +4 to +6? Is that what it was saying? So increases the maximum damage granted by a house unified to +6. I think that's what it's saying. So you can get up to an extra 6 damage if you've got 6 keeps in your empire. So that's a cool little bonus. Nothing else in here. And then finally, the Wingard Palace, what you've all been waiting for. Allows the production of 4 battalions. The Wingard Army, the Earl's Retinue, Garrison Command, and Gunpowder Contingent. All right, let's check out and see. Yeah, we can see it. Okay. Let's start off with Gunpowder Contingent. I'm sure you're all excited by the shape of that icon. We've got produce an army of 2 Reboldequins and 1 Culverin. It takes 1 minute and 5 seconds. 800 wood, 850 gold. A pretty sizable chunk of change right there, but it is definitely a solid combination that you're going to have. Then we've also got the Garrison Command. Produces an army of 8 spearmen and 1 Earl's Guard. Now have a look at the price on that. If you think about a spearman, right? 60 food for a single spearman. Okay, 8 of them. So 6 times 8, that's 480. So you're already saving 180 food just off the spearman cost alone there. That is very welcome. So I think there's definitely going to be a fast Imperial strat that is going to be coming quite strong with these guys. And then you've got the Earl's Retinue, which is producing an army of 6 Demi-Lancers and 2 Hobblars. And then we've got the Wingard Army, which is 2 Spearmen, 2 Crossbow, and a Trebuchet. Nice and standard. All right, so that is it for the tech tree. I hope that we've covered everything in here. If we haven't, I'm sure you'll let me know in the comments. Now, we're still not finished for this video, so don't go anywhere. We're going to go and play a game right now, but what we're going to do is we're going to enable cheats. And so by enabling cheats, that's going to allow us to speed through this game, because we're going to go ahead and we're going to type in a jiffy. And in a jiffy is going to allow us to build things very quickly. It's going to allow us to test things very quickly, and it's a cheat that I love to use when I'm testing things out like we're doing right now. So we'll go ahead and we'll put that cheat in immediately, and we'll take a look and see what we've got. So just to start us off with, keep in mind you've got access to the barracks, you've got access, the house, we've got the lumber camp, mining camp, and the mill. We've already been through the tech tree, so you'll be very familiar with everything here. I don't know if I can do it in caps. I can do it in caps. So you can start off with some spearmen. So in this first run through, we're going to go up the left side of the tree. So we'll go with the Abbey of Kings. And that now allows us to create the Lord of Lancaster. And when we move the Lord of Lancaster over towards this spearman, you'll see that it gets a nice little bonus. So we've got 84 damage, or rather 84 health compared to 80 health. And we can get ourselves 1, 2, 3 extra of these guys. Now, they don't have different skins. So there's 4 of them. They've all got the same skin, and you can see that they are buffing them up by a very slight amount over 5, or it's 5% that it works out to be. So it makes a pretty big difference, right? 97 against 80, especially if they're fighting against other spearmen. That's going to make a huge difference. So going for the Abbey is going to be a huge, it's going to be a huge amount of power that you're adding to your economy, or rather to your military. So now let's take a look and have a look at the archery range. We'll have a look at the stable, and of course we'll have a look at the manor. You can see how big it is. It's the same size as a military building. It is, it's lovely. We love the manor. So let's go ahead and we'll grab a couple of the condensed land practices and the open field system, and that's going to allow us to build now 9 of these in total. And remember, each one of these is about 3 villages worth. And obviously that goes up in the Imperial age, so it's about 36 villages that you'll be seeing right here. So pretty sizable. If we take a look at the Hobbler, their unique unit, you can see they've got their short little, piddly little dagger right there. They don't do a whole lot of damage. 7 damage, 7 versus range, 7 versus siege. They also have a charged spear that they pull out, but it's yeah. Look, we don't like to talk about the Hobbler. I'll be real with you guys. It's They're a fun unit, we'll say that much. And now we check out the yeoman. So apparently it's not called the yeoman as it says right here. It's called the yeoman. Just pretend like the E doesn't exist and just be like, yo man. It's the exact same thing. We're just saying yo all the time. And keep in mind, all of these units are going to be getting bonuses from all of these Lords of Lancaster. So you want to try and keep these guys alive. They've got some pretty decent stats here as well. So they're a really strong unit, and they're quite affordable as well. Honestly, I think they're very powerful. You're definitely going to want to build them. You're definitely going to want to snipe them out if you're playing against them. Now let's move over into the castle age. We'll get a new villager out, and we're going up the left side here. Actually, do we go White Tower? I think we go White Tower here. We'll show you King's College next. We'll go White Tower, and immediately you can see the Earl's Guard that are here, and we can get them to kill the sheep. Earl's Guard, would you be so kind as to kill this sheep for me, please? Thank you very much, Earl's Guard. And now if we try and kill this sheep, they'll have to run up into melee and do it. So they've got the, what is it, the Warhammer that they've got. Yeah, they're good looking units. We like the look of them. And if we try and click on the White Tower, you'll see we can't actually do anything with it. It is just, for all intents and purposes, it is just a keep. But obviously, it's one of the things to note is that this civilization scales in power with keeps, and there's like multiple ways that you can scale, right? Like you're scaling with health from the Lord of Lancaster, you're scaling with damage from your keeps. So if we take a look here, you're getting +1 damage, and that's quite literally just coming through from the House Unified bonus. So let's have a look in the castle age what we've got. So we'll upgrade our yeomen. So they're nice and upgraded now. They've also got the synchronized shot. So we'll go ahead and grab that, and we take a look at it, and you can see just how far it is. By the way, I don't think we looked at the range of the yeoman. So they've got 6 tiles of range, 1.31 movement speed. Don't get me started. Don't get me started. I've been theorizing. I was thinking about it in the car. This unit is just going to be so damn busted, and people are going to hate it, and I'm going to love it because I'm going to be the one playing House of Lancaster. So if we think about range, okay, so let's tell this guy to attack this sheep. You can see that's 6 range, okay, from here to the sheep. So if that's 6 range, how far is that? Because it looks like it's probably about 12. It is pretty damn far, and that's going to do damage. So if we grab all of these yeomen over here, and we say, hey guys, would you mind attacking the sheep? And they will definitely do that, and all the sheep are just going to, Yeah, it's crazy. The amount of damage that you can get. So I think, and look, not to theorycraft too much here, but I think what you're going to see happen is people are going to move forward with lots of yeomen. They're going to fire off with their synchronized shot, and then they're going to fall back after they got their shot off, and then they're going to wait for it to come back up, and then they're going to do it again, and they're just going to constantly looking for picks with their synchronized shot, and it's going to be very frustrating to deal with. All right, so let's take a look now at our Spearman upgrade. So that is hardened now upgrade. That is our veterancy on the Spearman. And then we've got the Billman upgrade. So Spearman equipped tempered bills. I don't know if there's any difference. No, there is in fact a difference. You can see they've now got that actual tempered bill that is there. So that's also going to give them that -2 armor against enemies. So very, very, very valuable. There's a lot of like little stat bonuses that really start to stack up, like the extra damage from the Earl's Guard, the extra health from the Lord of Lancaster, the minus armor from the Spearman. It's good. It's good. We've also got some crossbows, which will look very familiar to you. Nothing too crazy with these bad boys. And then in the stable, we'll upgrade our hobblars. We'll get them up to the next level. They don't look too crazy. And then we'll get ourselves a couple of knights out. They just look like English knights. I don't even think you can tell the difference. There might be a couple little differences, but I don't really see them. But that is it now for the Castle Age. I think we can also, I mean, we don't really need to look at Siege, right? Like, you know what Siege looks like. So let's just do that. We can have a look at the monastery. It's all the same stuff. It's all the same stuff. Monastery, where are we? Oh, sorry, I was thinking to myself, do we need to show off the blacksmith just for the sake of it? Yeah, so like all of these, identical. They're all the same. Here, all of the upgrades, all the same. And then the monk, all the same. So that's all that done. Let's go Imperial Age. Let's take a look, and we're just going to do Berkshire Palace because, well, let's keep it real. And that's going to increase the damage here, so that'll go from a +1 to a +2 now. And of course, we've already got the +2 coming over from the blacksmith. So if we grab those upgrades, that'll now go up to +3, and it means that we're at +5. So just to further demonstrate that, so we're at +5 at the moment. If we throw this down, and then maybe we decide to throw a couple more keeps down, we might even throw a couple more over here. So what were we at? I think we're at +5. So that's going to continue going up. And we'll throw a couple more keeps down over here as well. And so we take a look. That's at +8 now. Oh, it went down. I don't know how it went down. Okay, there we go. Oh, maybe it goes down when the keep is under construction. Now it's at +9. Okay. We're building. We're building. How high can you get it? We're at +10. Dude, how high is it actually going? Is that it? I swear it goes up to +10 and then it like corrects itself. It's like, nah, we went, yeah. It's like, hey, nah, that's too far. So you're telling me there's a window that we can get +10 just for a split sec? Yeah, let's do it. So that's your stats right there. Now keep in mind we're not fully upgraded yet, so let's go ahead. We'll grab our upgrade. Our Spearman upgrade as well, so we can take a look at our Spearman and our Elite Earl's Guard upgrade. So we are looking very solid here. Keep in mind we've still got some university upgrades that we'll grab. And then if we take a look at our Yeoman, they're all nice and upgraded now, and of course they've still got that synchronized shot. I don't think this changes in the amount of distance that it's got, but I think you need line of sight on a target before it lets you fire. And then when you actually fire, so we can shoot here, the arrows will still hit at the backside as well. Just keep that in mind. So you can technically get like, I don't know, 13, 14 tiles with that bad boy. It's pretty cool. I was sniping out Siege with it in a game I played earlier. It's good fun. So yeah, we've seen those guys. Let's take a look at the crossbows. They look like standard English crossbows. Hand cannoneers. Keep in mind your hand cannoneers are not going to be as strong as your English counterparts, just primarily because you don't have the extra attack speed coming out from your keeps, from your outposts, from your town centers. So that is going to be a big factor in the strength of these units. On top of that, your knights don't either. So we'll upgrade the knights, upgrade the hobblers, and now these guys are starting to look a little bit cooler. Other than that, what else do we have for these guys? We've then also got the Revolticon. We've also got the Culverin, which is their siege, and then we've got the padded jack, so that improves their melee armor a bit. I wonder if that changes the aesthetics. Here we've got them. No, it doesn't change the aesthetics of the units whatsoever. And then we've also got this upgrade down here. Earl's Guards are supplied with additional daggers when throwing. Does that change their aesthetics? It kind of looked like it reset it a little bit, but yeah, anyway. Keep in mind the keeps don't have anything on them. Oh, we can now pick up Scootage, so let's go ahead and do that. Now means we're going to start generating gold. These seem to generate income at every 7-second interval, I think it is. So 0 and then blank and then up to 7. So I guess technically it probably is 8 seconds because it goes all the way down to 0. But yeah, now it's going to start generating in that gold as well. So that is quite nice. We'll get our scout upgrade, and now we can just finally take a look at the university, get a bit of an idea on the final stats. And keep in mind, with every single keep that you make, you're going to be getting Elite Earl's Guards. which is a pretty cool bonus when you think about it, right? Because normally when you think about dropping a keep, it's like, okay, I'm putting down 900 stone, and I'm going to be investing in a purely defensive option here, or offensive, depending on how you want to play it. But here you get 3 Earl's Guards. So that's obviously just going to encourage you even more to do that. And when we look at the cost of that, they're 120 each, so 360 each. So, you know, realistically, you're only paying 540 for your keep, which is a great deal on a keep. You know, can I sell you 2 keeps? Would you like 2? So let's go ahead and we'll grab that university now for the final look here. Oh, by the way, their world or their wonder. So the Cathedral of St. Thomas, which will be familiar. And then, of course, we can look at getting these upgrades. So silk bowstrings, which is definitely going to help out our yeomen. So now they're going to be going to 7.5 tiles of range. I don't know whether that increases the synchronized shot. So I'm going to assume that it probably doesn't. And then other than that, I mean, we'll just pick up all the upgrades here, and we'll take a look at the final stats. So these are some pretty beefy guys, because keep in mind they're being buffed up by all of the units that are around here. Pretty much the best units that you could get right here. What do we have for the hand cannoneers? Nothing too crazy. They've got serpentine powder, elite crossbow. They don't really get any buffs. The spearmen have obviously got multiple buffs that are affecting them. They get that +3 melee armor. They also reduce enemy armor by 2. We've got the Earl's Guard, which is going to be throwing daggers. You know what? Maybe we should just go get a couple of Earl's Guard and just show them off throwing their daggers. Let's just get a couple of them, just a few. That should do. Somewhere in that region. We'll also grab the ones from over here as well, because I'm sure there'll be people that'll be like, hey, don't leave those guys out. So let's go grab those. We'll show them off. Nothing in here too crazy. Just grab all of the upgrades. We might as well bring these guys with us as well. We're up against an Imperial Age enemy, so we'll throw them all in this control group. And yeah, we'll see how they work. Now, I think ideally you probably want to keep them in a line formation just so that they can spread out their daggers as much as possible. And you ideally want them all to fire their dagger. And I suspect it even could be a case of like how we were talking with the synchronized shot. I don't want to get too much into theory crafting here, but I wouldn't be surprised if you see people like throw your daggers with the Earl's Guard and then just kind of back off and then wait for them to reset. By the way, we've got some nice little UI elements down here for our new English. So we'll go over here and we'll find our way. The final stats for the Elite Hobbler. We've got +12 versus ranged. We can also bring these guys in, or we can show off our charge. So you see the charge right there. They kind of look like a horseman. And then they pull out their cute little things. Okay, so the enemy will be here soon, surely. There's the first of the keeps. Unfortunately, we're getting our big boys sniped out immediately by the keep. I wonder if they know they're doing that on purpose. You guys got any units around here? Okay, there's the units. We're just gonna back it out, get those units in. Okay, so it doesn't appear that they track. Their dagger throw doesn't track. So they just kind of throw it out. Bro, you know what? I'm muting you. Just cause you're quite loud. These keeps are quite loud. And I want to just focus on the dagger throw. Okay, here we go. That's not bad. I mean, to be fair, we have 47 of them, so you'd kind of expect it to be doing damage. But, you know, if you wouldn't mind sending out a few more units here, it would be kind of nice. It is the easy AI, isn't it? That was my mistake. I made it against the easy AI. Okay, let's do a quick restart here. So that was the left side. Well, that was the first side of the tree. Now let's just quickly go back up and show you the second side with those the other landmarks and with the the other way that we'll do it. So the first one is going to be, if we take a look here, let's grab in a jiffy, the Lancaster Castle. So we'll go ahead and put that down. So there it is. It doesn't offer you any bonuses, any ability to build. You can't garrison inside this at all. There's no way to do it. You can only garrison inside the TC, but it does provide you that influence in the same way that your influence would be provided to like the Holy Roman Empire with their influence bonus. So I don't think you really want or need to build within the influence, but you don't need to build within the influence, but I think ideally you want to. So yeah, you get plus 500 health and an arrow slit in placement when within the influence. So I think what you could probably look to do is, like, if you've got like an outpost or like a lumber camp out here, like you could 100% build these nearby so that they're kind of defending. The only thing to note is these are expensive, right? Like, do you really want to be building these out here away from the protection of the TC? The Lancaster Castle does also have an attack as well. So I think realistically they're too expensive to be putting out here and just using them as like defense, because you can't garrison in these either. That's the other thing. Like, they do get the arrow slit. Anyway, let's move on to our next landmark. It's going to be the King's College. So let's go into that. And you will notice, actually, let's show off this as well, because this is kind of cool. The ability to, what's it called? To levy? Yeah, levy. Because we haven't actually had a look at the Demi-Lancer yet, so we'll have a look at the Demi-Lancer now. And then we'll go into the Wingard. So, first things first, I'm a realist. Let's go ahead and grab the Earl's Retinue. So now we can have a look at that Demi-Lancer. Now, Demi-Lancer is a little bit strange in the sense that, now this is an elite Demi-Lancer. You know what, let's just go one back a bit. We're going to restart, just because I want to show you the Demi-Lancer and the way that it steps up its stats and sort of like just the different stages of it, of the game that you might be using it. So apologies for going all the way to the Imperial Age there. Should have shown you the Demi-Lancer off, because there is a way to actually get it in the Feudal Age. So let's go ahead, we'll drop the Lancaster Castle. We'll put in a Jiffy in. And we'll drop ourselves down a couple of these. So as soon as we get these online, we want to increase it just because you're actually able to scale how many you can drop. So it's levy 2 Demi-Lancers and an additional 1 for each mana. So if you've got 3 manas, then you get 5. If you've got 9 manas, then you get 11, right? So you want to try and be maximizing this, but at the same time, you also want to be appreciating that it's expensive to get all of these manas out. So let's go ahead, we'll click the button, and you're going to see a whole bunch of Demi-Lancers pop out. And one of the things to note with the Demi-Lancer is, to me, I look at the stats on this unit and I just think, okay, you're just annoying, right? Like, it's kind of like a scout in a way. It's got 8 damage base, 140 health, and it gains 1 damage for each active keep. So the more keeps you got, the better. This, by the way, is not a keep for the purpose of the bonus damage. So that's the first thing. Now, they do Shadow Tech. So that means that as soon as we get to Castle Age, these are going to immediately upgrade, which is very cool. We do like Shadow Teching units because we don't have to pay to have them upgraded. When we get to Castle Age, we also now unlock a second levy ability, which is going to allow us to levy 8 yeomen and an additional 1 yeoman for each mana, which is absolutely amazing. We love that because we've got 9 manas, and that means that when we click this button, all of a sudden, we've got a whole bunch of yeomen, and that's a lot. We like that. That's a great little button that you can press in an emergency. Obviously, it was quite expensive. I don't know if it's got the costs of it. I didn't actually pay attention. So 150, 250, 600, 600, and then 1250, 1250. So realistically, if we think about a yeoman, it's costing 45, 45. So you'd be looking at 450 for 10 of them. So this is, you're paying about the same. You're essentially paying just a very small amount. You're paying for like the equivalent of 13 to 14. So I think there's definitely going to be, you probably only want to start clicking these buttons as you get to this point here. And then on top of that, you've also got the exact militia program. So let's go ahead and just grab the Wingard Palace. We'll click that. That's also going to give us 1 Demi-Lancer, 1 Earl's Guard, and 1 Yeoman per mana here. We're not going to do the maths on it, but we are absolutely going to enjoy the size of our levied military right here. So it is very, very nice. But yeah, I think when it comes to the Demi-Lancer, it's more of just like an annoyance as a unit. So let's take a look at those unique techs. So we've got the first one, Heal Training, which is for the Hobbler, increasing the charge damage and the production speed. And then we've got Knights and Demi-Lancers getting the extra +6 against heavy units, which makes them a bit more reasonable, especially considering these are Imperial Age. We can start to get more upgrades and stack them. Then we've got, the Trebuchet upgrade. Let me show you the Trebuchets. Let me show you the Trebuchets. We don't actually need to do that. We can just go for a Wingard army instead. So there's your normal Trebuchet, and have a look at this bad boy. Oh my gosh, it's so amazing. It's so amazing. Okay, here we go. Boom. It's like a little bit of gold, but dude, the first time I saw it, it was blue, and it was like glistening in the sun, and I was like, I felt like the boys of summer, dude. It felt so good. It looks good, man. I really like it. I think they did a wonderful job. Like, the first thing I did, dude, as soon as I saw this, I messaged the devs. I'm like, bro, you could have sold me that for $99 and I would have paid every single cent, man. That looks amazing. And it's the little things, right? But, you know, obviously that's hyperbole, guys. Calm down. I'm not actually advocating for $99 cosmetics. We want the $450 cosmetics of Riot, right? Right, guys? Okay. Hand Cannoneer upgrade. And then, we can look at military tactics here. So we can look at the Yeoman. It doesn't have any existing bonuses. But if we take a look here, this will now increase it by 20%. So that should go from 5 to 6. Yeah, so it is what we thought. So it's bonus, that sort of bonus damage. If we were just to like clarify that a little bit more, we go for the University and this. So keep in mind that is +6 on the extra. So if we do 1, 2, 3, still +6 on the extra. And then Incendiary Arrows. That gives us exactly where we think we should be, and the 6, yeah. So it's their bonus damage. So it's increasing things like your spearmen. It's not going to increase anything for your knights. It's those extra damages. And then finally the ships of the crown, but we're not going to look at that. And then lastly, we've got the garrison command, 8 spearmen and an Earl's Guard, and then of course the gunpowder contingent, which is going to be very fun to utilize. Yeah, it's going to work well. Anyway, I think we've covered absolutely everything here. If we've missed anything, I apologize. I've tried to be as absolutely, tried to hit everything that we possibly could. That is your first look at the House of Lancaster. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, feel free to leave a like down below. If you've got any questions, any criticism, leave a comment. And of course, we'll catch you in the next one. Thank you for watching.